So there are three key things that you have to do in order to get people to talk about your physique. Before we get into that, I just want you to picture something real quick. Imagine you're sitting in the middle of class. Maybe you're a student, maybe you're a college student, maybe you're just at your job. And from across the room, imagine a fairly large room like a classroom. You hear your name being called out. And you look over, nobody's talking like directly to you, but you hear people talking about you. And through this, you kind of listen in on the conversation. Maybe they're talking trash, maybe they're saying bad things, but they're actually talking quite good. They're saying, yeah, so-and-so, if your name's Jack, for example, let's just say you're Jack. If they're like, yeah, I want like a body like how Jack does. I want to be built like how Jack is. Imagine how nice that would be. Just real quick, like drop all the BS of like, oh, I don't care what other people think. Just imagine how nice that would feel. Well, that's something that happened to me the other day, and I'm going to explain to you why I think that is and what I've been told is the reason for that. My name is Brandon. I've developed a pretty decent physique. You've seen the thumbnail, and no BS, no, just straight to the point. Here are the three key things that help me achieve what I just told you, of people talking about my physique without me even bringing it up to them. And one of the most important things is most people don't even care about like the aesthetic physique look anymore. You know, like the TikTok boys, like on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube shorts, who have like the super wide shoulders or like kind of skinny, but also super lean with like the fluffy haircut or whatever. A lot of people don't really care about that. A lot of people, more people than not, actually do really think that the more strongman type build or more functional looking body with like a thicker waist, bigger arms, bigger chest, not really so disproportionate in the way that like you're just built like a V, you're built super wide, you're more like proportional in your midsection and in your arms, and you just look like a strong guy, whatever that means. Most people really only care about that. A lot of people don't actually care about the TikTok e-boy kind of look. And this brings me into my 3 points, is why the reason is that people talk about me, and they could be talking about you in the future, is because I don't actually make it my personality. Just like the TikTok boy analogy, a lot of people really make the gym their entire life. And coming from me, this is the only thing that I do. I make videos about it. You can join my like online school community, link in the description if you find this video helpful, but I have that. I train as often as I can, as often as I want to, which is basically all of the time. But the thing is, people only know so much about my training. It's not the only thing that I talk about. So it's kind of like when you have that one really smart kid in your class who's always correcting people. It's interesting if that smart person is good at other things as well. It's interesting to listen to that person talk and give their opinions on certain topics if it's not just constant in your face, like, I'm smarter than you guys. Look at my grades. I have straight A's. Look, I have straight A's, guys. Look how smart I am. Then you kind of get used to it and you don't care as much. I'm sure that makes sense to you. It's the same thing when showing off your physique. So many people, even in my school, in my own high school, you see so many people wearing like tight shirts, like tank tops that are like show their entire side. Like you can see like the serratus anterior muscle, which is basically, if you see like the muscle that kind of looks like an extra set of rib cage, it's that one. You see so many people wearing way too tight clothing. That's them making it their personality. People will go, oh yeah, that guy is kind of jacked. But then you just become that one guy who kind of has muscle. Versus if you were to wear like a loose shirt exactly like this and I were to flex real quick or whatever, most people would go, I didn't notice that. Guys, did you know Brandon's jacked? Or if your name's Jack, then, hey guys, did you know Jack was jacked? Because it's more impressive when people don't notice it, but then they do, versus it's right in their face and they're looking at it. If you're playing a game, for example, and it's a really fun game, let's say you're playing Minecraft, for example, and you realize that the owner of it has like a whole charity fund and does this whole thing or whatever. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's nice for the creator to do that charity. That's nice for them to do those things. Now, if the entire game was about charity, that's cool. That's completely good. That's a good thing. But the impression would be less than if you find out about it after the fact. So if you purchase a game and it tells you upfront all of the proceeds go to charity, that's really cool. You still want to support it. You still realize, okay, this is a good cause. But when it's more hidden and it's not as in your face, it hits a little bit different. It's a nicer message than if it's just in your face, like, tank top, arms out. I'm flexing all the time with the bros. Like, you kind of look like a dork at that point. There's one kid in my class actually that constantly finds an excuse to pull a shirt up because he has like abs or whatever. And it ruins the effect versus like if he was in gym, for example, he wipes sweat off his forehead and he just lifts his shirt up and he has abs. That's a lot cooler than him constantly going, hey guys, I have abs, I have abs, I have abs, like a retard. Next thing, number 2. I have a social media account where a lot of the people in my school see it. They've seen me doing weighted pull-ups with over 100 pounds, dips with over 100 pounds, handstand push-ups, muscle-ups, weighted muscle-ups, all kinds of calisthenic skills, all kinds of different lifts. They understand that I'm strong. They understand that I'm in good shape because in most of those videos, I don't have a shirt on. They've seen my physique, again, without it being in their face. That's one of the most important things because you want them to notice it and then bring it up to each other and go, hey, did you know that about Brandon? And if they didn't, then they can start conversation about you. If they already knew because it's in your face, you're wearing tank top, you're going, yeah, man, I bench 405 for 10. Then, yeah, they go, yeah, he's a strong guy. But they don't have a reason to talk about you because you already talk about you. So I have a social media account where a bunch of my friends see it. A couple of my friends in person are actually in my online school community just for the sake of supporting me and just because they want to be in there and they think I know about training. But I'm going to try and emphasize this point really well. It's not in their face. When I upload, they see it, but I don't tell them I uploaded. They just look at it. They're on Instagram already. They're in the middle of class. They see it. And then they show their friends because they go, hey, I know this guy. Then they talk about me for me. And then that can also tie into the business aspect of like who I am because I do like online personal training. I've had people reach out to me that I've never met in my entire life and say, hey, so-and-so that you know said that they know you. Do you do personal training? And I go, yeah, oh my God, I do personal training. Why? Do you want personal training? They go, yeah, I've got clients that way. I've got actual people paying me money because it's not so in your face. If I was just like a normal teenage gym bro or a normal gym bro who just like, yeah, man, big arms, whatever. And then people might still come for me for advice or come to me for advice, but because it's so in their face, they just assume that's just who I am and that's all I have. They don't assume that, oh, he's also a smart guy on top of it, or he's charismatic, or he's good at this, or he's good at whatever. They all just assume that this is all I do. And it kind of is all I do, but they don't think about it in that same way because I'm not a dork about it. Next thing, final thing, passion over arrogance. When I talk about the accomplishments that I have made to the people that I talk to, because sometimes the topic of training will be brought up, or like I'll literally just tell people, hey, I got this number today. That's really cool. You have to have a passionate look in your eye. You can't be arrogant about it. You can't be like, yeah, man, I'm so much better than all these nerds, got 4 or 5 for 10 on bench. Let's go. No, because people don't like that because now you're bragging. If you say passionately and you genuinely mean it in a passionate way, if you go, yo, man, I was training yesterday. I got like 100 pounds for 5 reps on weighted pull-ups. Let's go. I'm so proud. Then as long as it's not too much, then they will be more receptive to that and go, whoa, 100 pounds for 5 reps. That's really strong. That's the exact same thing that's happened to me. You can't make it in the person's face because then they're not going to care as much. Then they're going to push it away. You want to have them just barely pull in instead of just barely push away. You want to tell them enough or show them enough to where they're just a little bit more interested than the average person. You don't want them to be too interested because then that's a little weird and they're obsessing over you and then they're on your ass constantly. But you want them to be a little bit extra interested versus pushing too much, trying to force them to be a little bit extra interested and then having them pull back some. That's what you don't want. So if you want people actively talking about the way you look, actively talking about your fitness, whether it's for just your ego, which I don't recommend, I don't promote, whether it's for business, whether it's just for the sake of being proud of yourself and being able to actually have conversations with people about training and have them ask you for advice and all these sorts of things, then these are the things that you should be doing. And the most important thing is just don't push it on people. After scripting this is probably the most important thing that I can give to you. Most people, one, don't care about that like aesthetic physique anymore. That stage of fitness is kind of past. But 2, just don't push it on people. If this has helped you, if this is valuable for you, if you want to know how I got the physique that's in the thumbnail and how I got people to actually comment on my physique and the things that I've accomplished, you can go into the link below. There's a school community you can sign up for. You can get that, make an account if you don't have one already. If not, then that's completely cool. No pressure on you. I'm going to be releasing a course soon on how I did that. And if you're in the community for free, before it becomes paid, you will get it for free. So if you wait too long and you're like, oh man, I feel like putting the like account making process off, or oh, I don't want to right now, or maybe when this guy gets a few more subscribers, whatever, you will not get it for free. It will be paid, and it will probably be a lot more expensive than you think. So as of right now, join the community, get the program for free. Again, if it doesn't help you or you think it's stupid, then you don't have to use it, but you'll have it for free. It's an asset. It's opinions for someone who's actually been about it. Go into the link in the description below. On to the next one. Cheers.